What's up, YouTube? Welcome to more trades. So we had this interesting move to the upside on Bitcoin, and I'm going to be talking about it. I posted in my Discord yesterday, if we can break the 27,458 or 400, we could see 28K. Well, we exceeded that, and at the moment, we could still have some more upside once this wave is done. As you can see, we recovered this move up so quick, and I've been saying this for a while, that whenever you see a quick move up like this, you should be looking for a short. You could see it several times over here. When we bounced off and pumped, we came and recovered it. Over here, same thing, and the pattern repeats itself. So if you just trade on this basis, you could see a lot of times you move up so quick, you come back and recover it. And you can go back in the chart and see all of these moves. Usually when that happens, it's just a liquidity grab. You can see here, same happens to the downside. If we move so quick, we come and recover it. As you can see here, we went to the upside, recovered it to the downside, ranged, went down and recovered back. We could be doing the same now. We might go a bit lower. It's possible. In my opinion, we should be just watching the chart and trading price action. You could use indicators, but when you see things like this and you see Bitcoin stalling, you could anticipate a drop or a pump either way. Now, looking at the RSI, at the moment we are kind of forming hidden bullish divergence on the RSI. That is, we're forming lower lows on the RSI and higher lows on price action. This is on higher time frames. You could see it over here. You could see the RSI clearly from this low. We're forming a lower low, while price action is doing the opposite. From this low, we're forming a higher low. If we close like this, this is on the hourly. I think on the 4-hourly, it's the same, as you can see over here. And on the daily, it could also be the same. On the daily, not quite there. But yeah, on the 4-hourly and 1-hourly, you could see a pump in the short term. Now, where did Bitcoin come? Bitcoin retraced almost exactly from this peak over here, Fibonacci retracement, all the way to the 0.618, and now we're below the 0.618, testing, sorry about that, we're testing the 0.5 fib from on top. So 0.5 fib at the moment could be our support. But if we come down, where should Bitcoin hold for it to remain bullish? At the moment, we're just, I think we're bouncing off the 0.618 from, if we take it from this low, as this was the impulse up to this high, you could see we bounced off the 0.618 and we're stuck between 0.5 and 0.618. Now for Bitcoin, if we go lower, what are my targets? Now going back to the 1-hour chart, I can see that we have some sort of a wave formation. It's some sort of a diagonal, not clear waves. It's overlappy. It looks corrective, but nevertheless, we could bounce off. If we bounce off and it's going to continue lower, then my next level to watch for, if I'm predicting it's going to go lower, is the 27,936. Should be a level to watch for, followed by 28,097. 28,097 would be the 0.618 retracement of this move down, and 28,327 is a 0.786. I anticipate a short-term move up. How high? It could go as high as the 29K and break this high, come all the way to the value area high. Now let's see, value area high has moved obviously as price has moved. Now we need to take our fixed range volume profile from down here. As you can see, we bounced off the value area high on the 26th, 27th of September, and we continued higher. Now, when we come up, I would expect to find some resistance, even if we come so high, where we have structural previous support turned into resistance at around 28,998. But we could still have an overshooting move like this. Now Bitcoin may move lower. Now going in the smaller time frame to see a projection. We've seen this pattern so many times. I mentioned this in the channel. If we say Bitcoin is going to bounce to 28.9, how low could it go if the top isn't in? We take a trend-based fib and project it from here. Actually, I won't take it to 28.9 because that will exceed this move. I would say over here was a 0.618 around here. We could come down between 26.780 and 25.930. That's for starters. And if it's going to continue lower, I'm not saying that's a low and I'm not saying this is a high. I'm just telling you my projections of what could possibly play out. Now you need to go to higher time frames to see levels of resistance. You can see obviously over here we could have found some resistance, but we exceeded that and we came up. But our next level of resistance, strong level of resistance, will be at 29.219 to 226. Where you can see we were ranging over here and we might find some rejection possible. 30k is not so far away. It is possible, but I still have the bias that we might be heading lower. Initial targets, as I've mentioned, we could form a new low or even a lower low. It's quite possible. Now this price action over here could end up doing something like this for the next coming days. If it doesn't move, we could range here, but remember we are in the beginning of the trading week and we could even move lower, so it's very possible. You need to have your stop losses if you're trading this market because it's very choppy. We could do something like that and then come lower if we're not going to go higher. Other coins have made some nice, interesting moves. Solana, if I go to Solana really quick, you can see that Solana has come all the way up, previous POC, retested it once, twice, and it pulled back. Now, when you get rejected, it came back to our green box over here. When you get rejected at the POC and you can't make it up, you're coming to the value area low at $20.75. You could see it going back over here. Sometimes you pass through it, but when you find resistance over there, you could expect to come lower. If we go into the price action over here, we went all the way up here, then came down, came up again. We could come down to the value area low. However, finding resistance at the POC doesn't mean we can't get above. As you can see over here, we formed a Wyckoff distribution and then came all the way through the value area low. So Solana for now needs to hold this level because this move up here could have been some sort of 5-wave move. You had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5 was an extended wave. But as you can see here, we even went higher. So this move might be over for Solana and we're expecting a pullback and maybe continue higher. Now this wave over here, I like how it looks. And if I take a trend-based fib from here to the high over here, bring it down, we can see that the peak of this slightly exceeded the 1.618 over here. And that could be a third wave. And when you have, if that is a third wave, I might be wrong, but if that's a third wave, we could retrace to the 0.5 fib of this entire move. That will bring Solana back down somewhere around here, 21,747. If it has legs, it will move up again. But for now, it needs to hold the $20.747 if it wants to continue higher for Solana. That's my update on Solana and Bitcoin. Hope you liked it. One more thing to look at is the DXY. DXY is still ripping up. I need to look at this. I always look at the DXY. And at the moment, let's look left. For the DXY, where are we in terms of price action? We are at a previous resistance. If we can't break through this level that we're at the moment, if we can't rip and break above the 107.9, let's say 108, if we can't break and sustainably break above 108, will be pulling back on what you call it, the DXY. And by pulling back, that will end up letting Bitcoin pump. Another thing that I like to look at is the Nasdaq, as I trade both Nasdaq and Bitcoin. Nasdaq at the moment hasn't, excuse these so many lines, I'll get rid of this. Nasdaq at the moment hasn't really pulled back so hard as Bitcoin did. Bitcoin was a bit more of a volatile move down. It's a more volatile asset. Let's take a fib retracement from this peak over here and pull it down. You can see the Nasdaq is finding resistance at the 0.5 fib. And if you go to smaller time frames to dissect these waves, and you take this high over here that we formed today and to this low, you can see we're bumping our heads very close to the 0.786. So if Nasdaq can't break the 14,857, then the target for Nasdaq would be, and if Nasdaq, why I'm looking at Nasdaq, because if Nasdaq pulls down, then Bitcoin can pull down. Nasdaq can come to 14,667 and 14,555. It could come that low, and that will really pull Bitcoin down if it does that. Let me just pull a fib from here and see where are we from this peak over here to the low that it formed over here. And you can see Nasdaq has been struggling at this 0.786, the 14,852, and at the moment we wicked above it, came down, and we're trying to get up there. If we can't, then we'll be going down. We are holding this trend line that I have, as you see, and we have some sort of head and shoulders with a projected target for this head and shoulders on Nasdaq. I was supposed to end the stream now, but let's look at the projected target from this neckline to the peak over here, to the trough, and put it up here. And Nasdaq came almost exactly here. We wicked above it, weren't able to close. So that move could be done, and we could be coming low on the Nasdaq, because the Nasdaq's move doesn't look completed from this high of the Nasdaq. Sorry, let me get a fib retracement from this high over here to this low over here. We bumped at the 0.786, so that could be a 1-2. And if we take it all the way down and consider that a wave 1 and all the way to this bottom over here, Nasdaq perfectly, almost perfectly hit the 0.786. So that's another bigger 1 and a 2. And if we take a trend-based fib from the peak over here to the low to the second peak over here, Nasdaq came to the 0.786 over here. That could be forming some sort of a triangle, or it could be a beginning of the move that isn't done, and Nasdaq could come down all the way down to the 13,338 on the bigger scale, on the bigger picture. Now over here, this could be a 1, 2, and over here we formed some sort of 1, 2, and this is a third, and this could be a fourth now. And if this is the fourth, we could take a fib projection to the 0.5 fib. That would be fine if Nasdaq comes to the 0.5 fib at around 14,976, and then continue the sell-off lower. Okay, that's my update on Solana, Bitcoin, and the Nasdaq. Hope you liked it. If you did, you could join the free Discord where I post my ideas, and sometimes I post what trades I'm taking and when I'm taking them live. Yeah, sometimes when I don't post videos, I post those. Hope you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. More trades. I'm out.